I never thought betrayal would echo like a judge's mallet. But when the clerk announced, next case, 5473, Anderson v. Anderson, I understood the tremor in my parents' voices wasn't guilt. It was anticipation. They were suing me, their own son, trying to throw me out of the house I bought. I rebuilt after my divorce. The place they'd suddenly decided was meant for my sister's fresh start. Across the courtroom, my mother refused to meet my stare. My father's tie was centered to perfection, like appearances could rewrite facts. Lily sat between them, mascara ready to run, posture rehearsed. In their version, I was the villain for not sacrificing something useful to them. Their second mistake was assuming I'd fold the way I used to, 3 years earlier. After signing divorce papers, I moved back into the neighborhood we grew up in and bought a run-down Craftsman with creaking floors and stubborn windows. I spent months fixing it, sanding, patching, painting, the kind of work that keeps a person upright. My parents called the project practical. Lily called it adorable. I called it mine. They visited often, offering unsolicited design tips, borrowing things they never returned, dropping hints that Lily and her fiancé, Ryan, wanted to settle nearby after the wedding. I didn't think anything of it until one afternoon, while inspecting my new kitchen cabinets, Mom casually said, "Wouldn't it be fitting if this home stayed in the family?" For Lily? I laughed. She didn't. After that, their questions got more pointed. My father suddenly took interest in my mortgage documents. A property assessor I'd never hired left me 3 voicemails. Then I noticed an unfamiliar folder in my father's briefcase when he came to help with my taxes. Something in me tightened. By the time I realized they were building a claim on the house, the filing was done. Their argument? My down payment supposedly came from a family trust when they controlled, and therefore the house should revert to its intended heir. My sister. I didn't yell. I didn't storm over demanding answers. I watched. I listened. I smiled at Sunday dinners. I returned their calls. I let them believe I was unaware while I catalogued every admission, every slip revealing that the so-called trust hadn't existed at the time of purchase. But I needed a final nail. Something indisputable. It came from the one person they underestimated, Emma. My daughter, 7 years old, gentle, observant in ways adults forget to be. One evening, while drawing at the dining table, she spoke without looking up. "Grandma said we're going to have to move soon." My chest tightened. "She said that?" Emma nodded. "She said this is really Aunt Lily's house now. I recorded it. Do you want to hear?" I did. And when my mother's voice spilled through the tiny speakers, calm, confident, claiming my house was never meant for him anyway, something cold and sharp settled inside me. Revenge didn't start then. Justice did. The court date arrived quickly. My parents' attorney painted a picture of generosity gone wrong, insisting I use their trust funds to buy the home. Therefore, the property rightfully belongs to Lily. My lawyer didn't interrupt. The judge, stern and steady, asked for proof of the alleged trust. My father slid forward a folder like it was a winning hand. "These are drafts," the judge said flatly. "Unsigned, undated." He cleared his throat. "Well, many of the agreements were verbal, she repeated, unimpressed. He nodded, already unraveling. Then she looked at me. "Mr. Anderson, your response?" I stood. "Your Honor, before I speak, my daughter has something she asked to show you. She's 7, but it's relevant." The judge tilted her head. "Proceed." Emma walked to the bench, tablet clutched in both hands. She tapped the screen. My mother's voice filled the room. "Once he's out, we'll tell him it's for his own good. He never appreciated anything we did for him." A pause. "Then my father. He always caves in the end. Then Lily. Clear as a bell. Perfect. I won the house before the wedding. It'll look amazing in the photos." Silence pressed down on the room like a weight. The judge leaned forward. "This recording was obtained where?" "In my home," I said. "By my daughter." I submitted the unedited files along with metadata to the court this morning. She nodded once, firmly. "That's sufficient. Case dismissed. Property remains with Mr. Anderson, and I will be forwarding this to the appropriate division for investigation of attempted fraud." My parents didn't rise right away. Lily's tears were no longer graceful or placed, they were stunned. I knelt beside Emma. You were brave, I whispered. She squeezed my hand. When I stood, my father finally forced out, You think this means you've won? I met his stare. No, it means you've lost a version of me who let you do whatever you wanted. They left the courtroom without looking back. That night, the house was quiet. Not empty, not wounded, just peaceful. The walls I repaired, the floors I restored, the space I built to become whole again. It all felt like truth. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it comes in the soft voice of a child telling the truth in a courtroom, and sometimes that's loud, enough to shatter a family's illusion of power. I looked around my living room, the one they called temporary, and felt the steadiness return. They wanted to take a house. I built an unbreakable home.